welcome to the May 10th Board of Trustees Board Meeting. Will everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Present.
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 Present. And the first order of business are appointments to the Planning and Zoning Boards as follows. Appointment to Paul Wolfson to the Planning Board to fill an unexpired term ending April 22nd. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. In favor.
In favor?
In favor.
In favor. May I have a motion for the appointment of Tina Brown to the Zoning Board of Appeals with a term expiring April 2026?
So moved. Second. In favor.
In favor.
In favor.
In favor. And may I have a motion for the appointment of Adrienne Michelle as an ad hoc member to the Planning Board with a term expiring 2022?
So moved. Second. In favor.
In favor?
In favor.
In favor. And I see that we have these members here. If you'd like to come up and say a few words, you're welcome to now. No. Welcome, and thank you for serving. Oh, come on. Right there to the mic. Mm-hmm. Say. I think you have to say it all again. I'm kidding. Thank you all for serving. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. So we have no public hearings today. Can I have a motion for approval of the minutes of April 12th and April 26th meetings?
So moved.
Second.
In favor.
In favor.
In favor.
In favor. David, can you tell me if Amy Goodman is on? Okay, so can we give Amy an opportunity to present now? Amy Goodman is the superintendent of Tuckahoe Schools. She'd like to address the public. Thank you.
Yep.
Yes, we're just asking them to put it up a little.
Our cafeterias so that our students could be in school. And I am very proud of our administration and our staff and our students and our parents who rose to all those challenges. In this budget this year, we include programs to work with students on learning loss. We will have a summer school program this year, and we have added academic intervention support to our programs. We are adding Chromebooks. We are replacing Chromebooks and other technology. Every single student in our school has their own Chromebook. And believe me, the Chromebooks have had a lot of use, so we need to replace them. Again, as I told you, the summer support program is very important. We are training our teachers on project-based learning, which is an innovative way to teaching where students problem solve real-world problems as they learn through their curriculum. We are expanding our Foundations Early Literacy program to 3rd grade. We know that students need to learn how to decode, and with an increase in fluency, students will have better comprehension. We know K-3 is a very important time. So we've had so much success K-2, we're bringing this up to 3rd grade. We are also training a lot of our teachers for Wilson Reading Certification. That certification in one of the best or the most known and most scientifically proven techniques to help struggling readers. It's an Orton Gillingham-based program. We are also providing a survey tool to assess social and emotional learning in our schools and really know about how students, faculty, staff, parents view our schools, if they view them as safe and welcoming, and we will take that data and use it to provide social and emotional instruction and see how we're doing in our schools. We also have more materials to support students in reading. We are looking at a new reading program in the kindergarten, and again, staff development on all these programs. We also have brought in innovative and intellectual clubs and extracurriculars. We are having a debate team, for example, a coding club, a robotics club. We are looking towards 21st century skills and beyond. We have added a co-teacher to the elementary school so that we have a co-teacher in every grade. And that teacher also can provide academic intervention support. We are adding enrichment and support to our math program in the middle school. So we know some students need support in math and some students need challenges. So we are providing both and adding both. Again, support for at-risk learners at the high school. Mayor Dino knows about our Tiger program where we're looking specifically at students, and she has been involved in it. So I thank you, who have learning loss or who are credit deficient. And we're going to bring that into next year too, because we know it's been a struggle for some students in learning in the hybrid or the remote model. We have added curriculum materials in ELA and math. We are also adding additional AP courses, so students who need challenges in the high school will be having them. We're very excited about our new entrepreneurial course so that students can develop their own businesses. In terms of budget reductions, we are reducing a 1.0 full-time librarian in the elementary school, and we have a reduction of 6 teacher aides and 2 monitors because we have hired extra staff this year because we split all up. The way we were able to bring in our students full-time were to split classes so that students were in the building, again, making more classroom space, but they were in the building with extra support because we could not fit kids 6 feet apart in classrooms. So all of those, and they knew that when they were being hired that they will be reduced for next year. So that's our budget. Just to give you a snapshot of how much that is going to cost is our total budget is $36,926,600, and the budgeted budget increase is only 1.38%. The proposed tax levy increase is 2.37%, which is below the allowable tax levy. So basically, those are the budget highlights. In terms of our capital project, which will also be on the ballot on May 18th, is that this ballot adds much needed renovation to our schools. In terms of Cottle, for example, it provides a significant reconfiguration and upgrade to the Cottle playfield and playground. The proposal also supports interior renovations and security upgrades at both the middle and the high school. For those of you who have been around Cottle, you know that the field has been a trouble spot for our school. A full renovation of the field and the installation of artificial turf is something that will benefit the Cottle students and our community every day. During the school day, the field will be used for students, and after school, the field can be used for sports. It is the size of a half of a football field in synthetic turf, and it can be used for practices for middle school and high school athletics. A walking track around the field will benefit our community members during off hours. At Cottle, we are also looking to renovate and expand the cafeteria. We plan to expand out 6 or 7 feet and add windows that connect it to the street and the playground. This will dramatically improve the atmosphere and will make a big difference. The cafeteria is sorely needed to be upgraded. It will feel like a next generation cafeteria and a friendly gathering space. Also in the planning stage is a complete renovation of old bathrooms, playground upgrades, and converting the Siwanoy Boulevard, as we now own that piece of land, into a usable play space, while maintaining the capability as a road for emergency vehicles and parent drop-off and pickup. Infrastructure is important too. During the pandemic, it became obvious that air quality is a top priority for all schools. At Cottle, the middle school and the high school, the bond proposal will produce healthier indoor air that can also be cooled to also provide air conditioning. We plan to install what's called variable refrigeration units in some of the classrooms, and these recycle the air and cool it to make it heat or air conditioning, and it is an energy recovery system. And also those classrooms will have thermostats, because many schools, either a classroom is freezing or too hot. I don't know why. Everywhere I worked, it seems to be a problem on the same day. And these classrooms will have individual thermostats. At the Tuckahoe Middle School and High School, we are planning to upgrade the library, upgrade the cafeteria, and install air conditioning and better filtration to existing ductwork in the new wing. The older wing, again, will have those new outside air, which are called VRFs that I just explained. The middle school and high school cafeteria, which hasn't changed in quite a number of years, will have new furniture, finishes, lighting, and a new serving area to make it brighter and a more popular space. This room is used every period of the day, so it's much more than a cafeteria and really an important space in the school, and it deserves the upgraded appearance. A substantial amount of masonry restoration will be done to preserve our beautiful historic building. Also planned is a critical life safety improvement in both buildings, as we will upgrade the fire system. Other infrastructure items are an accessible ramp, stone and masonry repairs on the historic facade, hardware and security, some stair and railings, the gym exit, and replacing the gym floor in the high school. And again, the mechanical ventilation upgrades are very important during this time. The cost of the project is $9.9 million overall, with the majority of the money this time being used at the middle school and high school. Last time it was mainly used at Cottle, and we got a whole addition out of that. We estimate this project to the median homeowner would be $266 per year. And again, this is all covered by additional state funding. Again, so our budget highlights include innovative academic and extracurricular programs. It addresses our strategic plan goals. Every single addition to our budget is tied to a goal that's measurable. It provides staffing to support small class size, advanced placement courses, maintains and renovates buildings and grounds, focuses on literacy and academic interventions, and add high-level math curriculum plus math support, adds more to our special education program, increases the use of instructional technology to personalized learning, supports project-based learning, and provides for learning loss. Our proposed capital project really provides our students with a modern and contemporary teaching and learning, and also provides upgrades to all our buildings. Please go on our website. It has all of our board meetings. It has a video that I would love you to watch that you could see. I think that one of your trustees actually shared it on your village website. Did somebody share it? I saw somebody shared it from the village.
Yeah, Trustee Cronin.
My liaison shared it. And so you can look at it on either site. You will see actually our board president put this together with a simulation of the space provided by our architects. So you can really see, my words cannot give it any type of meaning until you really visually see it. And again, our budget is proposed all to support student learning, enrichment, and remediation. So thank you for your time. You know, we have a board meeting the same night as you. Hopefully we will make some adjustments next year so we can be together more. But again, I thank you for the opportunity to share this with all of the constituents of Tuckahoe.
Thank you, Superintendent. Do you have a moment in case there are some questions? Does anybody have any questions from the public for the superintendent before she comes off? Anybody on the board?
I saw the video.
You saw it? Okay, thank you, Amy.
Thank you so much. May 18th, go out and vote. Thank you so much.
May 18th, go out and vote. Famous last words. Okay, good night.
Good night.
So our next order first opportunity to address the board on agenda items. If anyone has any agenda items that you'd like to address. Anybody on Zoom? Okay, so we'll move on with our resolutions for the evening. So our first resolution has to do with the creation of the Historical Preservation Task Force. Before I ask for a motion, I'd like to just give you a summary on the resolution. So we're looking to engage in a comprehensive community-oriented review for the consideration of a historic preservation processes and legislation. So the committee that we are or the task force that we're looking to put together, we're striving to have people with architectural or design professional backgrounds, a local historian, our real estate professionals, anyone with a demonstrated interest in and commitment to the field of preserving planning as evidenced by either involvement in local or regional historic preservation groups, employment. Someone from the Board of Trustees will serve as liaison to that task force. And we're also looking for members who have a known interest in historic preservation and planning within the village of Tuckahoe. So if you are interested in serving on this task force, we have received some interest from some residents already. You may still submit your name to David Burke, our village administrator. Some of the things that the objectives of the task force will be to conduct research on existing historic preservation legislation, historic districts and sites within Westchester County, to identify and inventory features and objects within the village that have historic interest or value, which I know that a few people in on the history committee as well as outside have also done this, have started to do this. We want to identify and contact historic preservation resources and gain insight from them. Research studies describing the potential effects of historic designation on a community. So there's an entire resolution, which I will not read all of it. We will have it on our website for you to read. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to contact us. I'd like a motion for the creation of the Historic Preservation Task Force.
Second.
In favor.
In favor?
In favor.
In favor. And I have asked Jenny Steinhagen to be the chair of this task force. And maybe you come up now, Jenny. Gary, you're getting in all the exercise you missed.
Mayor Andino, members of the board, thank you for making historic preservation a priority for our village and for appointing me chair of this historic preservation task force. This is an important moment for Tuckahoe. It's also an especially exciting moment for me as I near completion of studies in historic preservation. Tuckahoe has a rich and a unique past, as seen in the buildings and the structures that tell the stories of the people and the events that have come before us. As a community, it is now that we have the opportunity to take measures to make sure that these stories, our stories, live on for the people who will come after us. There's a lot of work that needs to be done as we look towards commemorating and preserving historic sites and features within the village. So that we might hit the ground running, Richard Forliano, the Eastchester town historian, Elaine Provenzano of the Tuckahoe History Committee, and I have already started researching what is being done throughout Westchester in regards to historic preservation. It's worth noting that 20 of Westchester's 43 municipalities already have existing historic preservation legislation. We'll be looking at their programs and their successes, reaching out to experts, and as you mentioned, hopefully others will step forward to be a part of this effort. The mission of the Historic Preservation Task Force is to advocate for and act in favor of the preservation of historic sites and structures within the village. That includes researching historic preservation legislation, identifying the sites and structures of historical and cultural significance and value, and reporting back to you, the board, with recommendations for legislation and preservation agendas. The Tuckahoe History Committee and the Eastchester Historical Society have been preserving Tuckahoe's historical record for decades. They already have lists of sites of value. We are not only indebted to them, we look forward to working very closely with them. Historical preservation is good economically, culturally, socially, educationally, for general welfare. With this goal in mind, please count on us to do everything we can to make our shared goal of historic preservation in Tuckahoe a success. We're ready to get to work. We'll be reporting back soon. Thank you for this amazing opportunity and for your support.
Thank you, Jenny. I had the chance to meet with Jenny and with Richard Forliano, who's the historian in Eastchester, and I thanked Richard because when I first was elected in 2018 as trustee, one of the first people to reach out to me and to talk to me about Tuckahoe's rich history was Richard. So thank you, Richard, and he's kept that, obviously, for decades. This has been a priority for him, so we're glad to do this. So thank you, Jenny, for stepping up. So back to resolutions. Resolution number 2, may I have a motion authorizing the use of streets for the annual Gifford Street Block Party on June 12th from 11:30 a.m. to midnight with a rain date of June 13th.
So moved.
Second.
In favor?
In favor.
In favor?
In favor.
In favor. And we're trying to get some stuff sold here, so may I have a motion to authorize the declaration of the following items, authorizing the declaration of the following items as surplus for sale. 2014 Ford Explorer with 91,000 miles about, a Hammond Manufacturing server rack, 4 executive style office chairs, the old ones, 2020 dirt bike with 350 miles. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
In favor?
In favor.
In favor?
In favor.
In favor. And we have some tax certs, so may I have a motion authorizing a tax certiorari settlement with Grazia Realty for assessment years 2016 to 2021 with the street address of 181 Marbledale Road in the amount of $3,571.40.
So moved.
Second.
In favor?
In favor.
In favor?
In favor.
In favor. And may I have a motion authorizing a tax certiorari settlement with 108 Sagamore Road for assessment years 2016 to 2019 with a street address of 108 Sagamore Road in the amount of $3,805.33.
So moved.
Second.
In favor?
In favor.
In favor?
In favor.
In favor. And may I have a motion authorizing the approval of vouchers in the amount of $496,478.31.
So moved. Second.
In favor?
In favor.
In favor?
In favor.
In favor, we have to pay the bills. And number 7, authorizing the receipt and collection from several owners of property as shown on section and block lot on the roll filed with the office clerk. You could see that below. I won't read all of them. So may I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
In favor?
In favor.
In favor?
In favor.
In favor. Do we have any discussion items anyone would like to bring up now? Okay. So that'll take us to our departmental reports. Camille, do you have any? Fun times. David? Okay, yes, Chief. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this.
Good
Hi,
evening, Madam
Dave.
Mayor, members of the board.
Good evening.
Belated Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers on the board and all
Thank
the
you.
mothers in our community. I hope you had an enjoyable day. Just a couple of announcements. This is Police Week. It started yesterday and it runs through Saturday. In commemoration of Police Week, tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. we will have our Police Honor Awards right here in this courtroom. All of the members of the public are invited. We'll have some refreshments following the ceremony. On Saturday, May 15th at 9 a.m. will be our annual Police Memorial Service. At this memorial, we honor all of the deceased members of the Tuckahoe Police Department, all the members of the service who were killed in the line of duty. This year, we'll be adding to our memorial Sergeant Robert Sable and Police Officer Richard Spada. Later in the month, on June 5th, I should say early next month, on June 5th, we will be having our bicycle safety event at the Main Street Park at 11 a.m. All of the members of the public are invited, our children. We have a obstacle course for the children to ride through. We give out helmets free of charge, and we have we raffle off several bicycles for all the participants. So everything is free. We have refreshments, so everyone's invited. And then later this month, we do have our Click It or Ticket campaign, which is for occupant safety. So we will be out there enforcing all the occupant safety laws in conjunction with all of law enforcement across the state. And then just lastly, you know, again, in honor of Police Week, I just wanted to take a moment to first thank all the members of the Tuckahoe Police Department. It was a very tumultuous year for all of us in law enforcement. All the members of the police department maintained their professionalism through COVID and all the unrest, and I just thank them for carrying us through a very, very difficult year. I also want to thank the members of the board, both past and present, for all their support throughout the year, as well as all of our community. I can't tell you how many times we had received messages, people dropped off food throughout the year, just some very pleasant conversations, and you know, it helped our members to get through the year. So thank you to everyone that was so very kind to us. And then just finally, you know, I've been fortunate over the course of my career to receive some very nice notes and letters from members of our community. But I have to tell you, the other day I was very moved. I had this commencement binder sent from Auburn University, and it was from a member, unfortunately a former member of our community, Isaiah Gunther, who recently graduated with magna cum laude honors. And I was very moved because here was a young man who, on one of the happiest and proudest days of his life, took a moment to write a letter to the Tuckahoe Police Department. Isaiah worked for us as summer help, and I think he was very moved by some of the members of the department, how people took him in and looked out for him. But he also wrote about growing up in Tuckahoe and how it provided him a culturally diverse experience and an appreciation of community. And he went on to thank the Tuckahoe Police Department and wished everybody well and hoped that the problems of the world did not have to be an issue in the village of Tuckahoe. Again, just just very moved by this young man on such a momentous day in his life, to be thinking about his hometown and his hometown police department. So best of luck to Isaiah, and I thank him very publicly for his kind words.
Nice.
And that's all I have.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Is Frank from the Superintendent of DPW? Okay.
Thanks, Mary. Just have a couple things real quick. One is one of a kind of a major Con Ed project that is going on in the village right now. It is currently on Underhill. It started on a portion of Wallace. It's going to be on most of Underhill, North High Street, Pleasant Place, up into Clinton. The contractor's actually doing a really good job the past week of cleaning up, ensuring that people are in and out of their driveways. The police department's doing a really good job of, assisting some of the homeowners and making sure that people can get in and out. It is going to be a long project as they move into the summer. It's probably going to be at least 4 to 6 weeks for it all to be completed. But what I always say is that you're going to have nice new roads after this, so they will pave curb to curb. But it is a project in this area as of right now that we're working on. And just another really good piece of news, as we got our sales tax last week. So we get our sales tax in quarters, so it comes in a check, and we got an extra $51,000 in our check.
Doesn't come in cash?
It does not come in cash. I don't get to see it. But it was an extra $51,000, and when I contacted the county, it's, the state, what they do is they do what they call a true-up every so often to ensure that everyone's getting their portion. The state's getting their portion, correct portion. Villages, counties, the MTA gets a portion. And apparently they haven't done that in quite some time with COVID and everything else. So at the end of the day, an extra $51,000 in this current budget year. So as we try to make ends meet and, get past, the financial stress that we're in regards to this, it was a nice piece of news. So
Nice.
thought I'd share that.
Nice, thank you. Anything, Gary? Okay. All right, so that'll take us to Board of Trustee reports, and we'll start with Trustee Lang.
Thank you, Mayor. Our chief talked about moms. Happy Mother's Day and stuff. I had the best mom, and anybody who knows my mom, she was super. So happy Mother's Day to all Tuckahoe moms. Yeah, moms are, I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay.
God bless all the moms. I think about my mom every day. So sorry. I would like to thank Jenny. I'd also like to thank Paul, Tina, and Adrian for their interest in serving our community. Welcome. I admire anybody who's willing to, donate their time to our great place that we have here. So thank you so much. On another note, we're currently working on a date for a very much needed community event. I will continue to let you know a little bit more about time and place. But other than that, I'm sorry. Thanks, Chief. Maybe think of my mom. I love you guys.
Okay.
Bye-bye now. Sorry.
Deputy Mayor Howell.
About an hour before we walked into this room for the meeting, there was an announcement that the FDA just approved the Pfizer vaccine for 12 to 15-year-olds. So I was going to start out my report this evening with the announcement that at Pelham Memorial High School, they're going to have a pop-up vaccination site for students, and that was to serve Pelham, Eastchester, Tuckahoe, and Bronxville. They're giving out appointments between 12 and 6, and you can access that by going to the state website, the State Department of Health website, and I'm also going to put that link on my Facebook page. I assume that if not this week, then very soon at the county center, they'll start to offer those vaccines because we're offering Pfizer in Westchester County to 12 to 15-year-olds. As you heard earlier, Eastchester and Tuckahoe have board elections, school board elections, and budget votes, which will be held May 18th. For Eastchester, absentee ballot applications must be received by tomorrow, May 11th. They can be picked up and turned into Jeanette Messina at the school district office on White Plains Road. This evening, the Eastchester PTA Council was holding a candidate forum for the 8 candidates that are running for 4 open positions. They will be recording that this evening, so I'll be putting that on my Facebook page as well, and you can access it through the Eastchester District School site. As far as community events, another thing that really revolves around the Eastchester school system is this Saturday will be the Eastchester Relay for Life. There is a Tuckahoe resident and my neighbor, Rita Mastro Bernardino, who has been leading for several years the Forever Rallying for Regina team. So I'm asking residents to consider supporting this event on behalf of this team. It's a great cause at a community event, and you can find them by searching the Relay for Life website. I also wanted to welcome our newly appointed board members and thank you for stepping up for your community. I also wanted to thank Tom Ringwald and Antonio Leo for their help in getting the candidates interviewed and grounded in what those boards do. The zoning board will be meeting on May 12th at 6:45 for their working session and at 7:30 for their meeting. On the agenda, there are some residential applications that have been discussed before, but there are 2 special permits that are before the board. One for the Cornerstone Child Care Center to be open here in Village Hall, and another for Pilates Unleashed, which is on 86 Main Street. There's also an interesting application for an interpretation at 377 Marbledale Road, where someone is looking to build take down a house and build houses on an existing site, which has multiple lots on it. And even on, Marbledale Road, there are open lots. So people who are living there might want to take a look and make note of that. The planning board will be holding its meeting May 18th. Their working session was last week, and we've been doing a lot of work in the building department to make sure we have all the documents in place for final review of the amended site plan. So I wanted to thank everybody in the building department and everyone who works with them. That's the site of the restaurant on Marbledale near the hotel. This month, the board has agreed that we can go forward with the Tuckahoe Challenge Road Race in September. We're going to have some alterations for safety, like to minimize crowds indoors. So we'll probably only do online registration and have bib pickup before the day race to minimize that kind of crowding. But we're very excited that we're going to be able to do the race this year. And of course, as recommendations continue to be pared back, we'll incorporate that into the race setup. The date of the race is going to be Sunday, September 12th, and we're looking to open up the run sign-up site by the end of May. So I'd also like to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in Tuckahoe, and big thank you to our police department, and looking forward to celebrating the recognition of police this week. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Trustee Taylor.
On April 18th, Mayor Andino and myself met with the Executive Director, Irina Matvika, Chair Lieutenant related to cultivate, as well as concerns voiced by some of the residents about consistent application of the rules and regulations. There was also discussion about having more community outreach events, which the Tuckahoe Housing Authority leadership was very open to. As the Tuckahoe Housing Authority liaison, I would look forward to working with the leadership and the tenants. The next THA board meeting will be on Tuesday, May 18th at 7:30 in the community room at 4 Union Place. I encourage all tenants to attend the meeting to stay informed and become part of the constructive solutions they are seeking. On March 3rd, the ECAP, Eastchester Community Action Program, had English as a second language classes that lasted 6 weeks with 14 participants. The second class of training started on April 15th and is in progress right now. Classes are Monday through Thursday from 6 to 9:30 p.m. and there are 19 participants in this second class. During the spring break, which was March 29th to April 5th, ECAP held a tennis clinic in the Main Street Park for the kids from the after-school program. There was an instructor from Iona College, and Marianne Bateman also volunteered to teach the kids how to play tennis. All of the kids had a great time, and they are looking forward to the tennis clinic, which will be returning as part of the summer camp program. There were 2 security guard training courses held at ECAP. The first was on April 19th to the 20th, and the second one was April 21st to the 22nd. There were 11 participants in total, and 3 received their certifications. For those in need, the food bank is the first Wednesday of every month. ECAP Director Denise Chen and her staff, Anna Costa and Josina Smallwood, have done an excellent job with implementing all their COVID protocols in their after-school programs. The Tuckahoe Community Center is now scheduling events, parties, and community affairs. Current day county guidelines will still apply. You can schedule your birthday parties, baby showers, and family gatherings with John at the Tuckahoe Community Center. Troop 19, Boy Scouts of America Girls Troop, will be having a car wash fundraiser at the Tuckahoe Community Center on Sunday, June 6th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. If it rains, the car wash will be rescheduled the following Sunday on June 13th. Please support Troop 19 Tuckahoe by bringing your car to the Tuckahoe Community Center for a car wash on Sunday, June 6th. If interested, for more information, please write to Troop 19 Scouts at troop19tuckahoe@gmail.com. And I'd just like to say that the chief mentioned Isaiah Gunther writing a letter to the department. Chief knows Johnny, Isaiah's uncle. We both attended the graduation, and it was awesome to see that young man walk across that stage. And it was just an awesome time.
That's it? That's it. Thank you. Trustee Cronin.
Good evening, everyone. I also want to extend a happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers in Tuckahoe, be they biological, adopted, stepmothers, second mothers, grandmothers, other mothers, mothers by proxy, or caretakers. I hope you all had a wonderful day, and we appreciate you. And in the case of many of us, we miss you. From the Tuckahoe schools, I had the pleasure of meeting with Dr. Amy Goodman, and I look forward to being the liaison to the Tuckahoe schools this year. I will say for the third time in this meeting, please remember that the Tuckahoe schools will be holding elections for the Board of Education, its annual budget vote, and the special capital improvement bond on Tuesday, May 18th. The district hosted a virtual Tuckahoe School District Town Hall, which Dr. Goodman made mention of, and is posted, the link to that is posted on my Facebook page. The proposed capital, it talks about the proposed capital project and all of the improvements they are planning to make with the bond monies. That was on April 22nd. If you missed this town hall, it is available for viewing on the district website and again on my Facebook page. I highly suggest that you log in and check this out. I found it to be incredibly informative. It highlighted a number of upgrades, most importantly those for air purification and security measures and infrastructure upgrades. Again, the vote is May 18th from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. If you don't know where to vote, you can find your polling place by going to the district budget and bond vote landing page. And if you're not a registered voter, you can still vote in this election, but you have to register specifically through the school board with the district clerk on any school business day prior to May 12th. That's next week. That's this week. Between the hours of 8 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. at the district clerk's office. I also want to say thank you to all of the volunteers who have been appointed to boards. I think it is wonderfully auspicious that Ms. Steinhagen is getting a certification and a degree in historic preservation. How amazing is that, right? Yeah. We are very lucky to have you all serve with us. Okay, so from the Tuckahoe seniors, I had the pleasure of meeting with Jennifer Vetromile and some of the members of the board and other members of the Tuckahoe seniors. We had a great talk, and I look forward to working with them this year. The seniors will continue to meet on Zoom for the time being, but are hopeful to meet again soon in person as soon as possible. And then we have some good news from the Tuckahoe Environmental and Sustainability Community. We have honeybees here in Tuckahoe. Approximately 7,000 bees have been installed on the roof of the Spring Hill Suites. So TESC wants to thank the hotel for being very helpful in this process and even donating $600 for equipment. Another special shout out to John Healy and Todd Patton for helping with the project, and to John Fix for the donation of the bees. To put anyone's mind at ease, these are honeybees, and so they are generally not aggressive, and also they are all the way up on the roof of the hotel, so there's nothing to worry about. Last Saturday, on the May 1st, we had the Bronx Riverkeeper event. Approximately 100 volunteers joined in for the Bronx Riverkeeper event. They collected apparently more than 450 pounds of garbage and waste along the river and the streets of the village. So a big thank you to TESC and the Riverkeeper and the Riverkeeper organization, DPW, and all their help and supplies, and everyone who participated. The Girl Scouts were there. Big shout out to them. So I had the opportunity to walk with one of the volunteers, Mike Dardano, who we actually walked through the streets around the park and up Main Street. And, you know, unfortunately, we did notice there is a lot of litter, and it is something that people have mentioned to us. And so we are planning to do a Tuckahoe Cares cleanup day, which would be very similar to the Riverkeeper event. So I will keep you posted. We will pick a date, but essentially we will be looking for volunteers. And if anybody wants to help organize this, please feel free to reach out to me at my village email or on my Facebook page. And finally, I have office hours on Friday afternoons between 1 and 3 p.m. and I would love to meet some of you and talk to you. So if you have the time and are available, if you have questions, if you want anything you want to discuss, by all means, please come down and visit during our office hours. Thanks.
Thank you, Trustee Cronin. I'd also like to wish everyone a happy Mother's Day and hope that, and what we've been talking about as a board is what are some of the things that we want to accomplish, and we came up with a 100-day or so plan. Just want to give you an update on a few of the things that we are working on and some of the things that we hope to work on. So the first thing that we did was we passed the budget below the tax cap, which proved to be a challenge, poor David. But we got it done, and I'm happy to report that as David, our village administrator reported earlier, we were notified that the first quarter sales tax payment would be $51,000 higher than we expected, which you see, David, it always works out. So that'll help offset some of the revenue deficits. I'm sure it won't offset all of them, but good news. The other thing that this board is committed to is being more accessible to the residents and thereby possibly encouraging more engagement from you. And so we've established office hours where the entire board is available to you every single day, I think, something like that. And so that helps because we will put up on the website the liaisons to all of the different committees, and you'll see that we've added some liaisons to different areas in the village. So we will put that up on the website, and that way you can speak to each person who's designated to that area if you have any questions. Of course, you're welcome to speak to any one of us. You can come in when it's convenient for you, but the hours are now posted. One of the things that as a board we are also committed to is making sure that we are as skilled as much as you can be in this role. This is a different role if you've never done it before. So we're making sure that we're being trained on how to be a good government. And so we have, thankfully, there's an organization called the New York Conference of Mayors and Municipal Officers who provides their phenomenal organization, not-for-profit, and they provide us with training. And when I first came on board, that's one of the first things that our village administrator said to me, here's Nikon, check them out, they're really good, and it has served me well. So the NICOM training, everyone on this board is committed to at least taking at least 4 hours of training, which really, I think Kara did that like on day one, because she just loves to learn. The rest of us, 4 hours minimum is good. So hopefully as we're doing these trainings, we will come before you and give you some updates and tell you what we've learned so that we could be a better government for you as well. One of the things that we have been talking about for some time is looking at our processes in the village, and one of the departments that gets a lot of wear and tear is the building department. So we started what we call a process mapping session, thanks to Deputy Mayor Renee Howell. We sat down with the building department, with our village administrator, and we walked through what the steps are if you're trying to get a permit. And looking at that process in that kind of way, outside of it, where you're not in the middle, it's not an emotional process, helped us to at least map out what does the process look like now from beginning to end. When you go in to get a permit, it's all the way to receiving the permit. And that's the first step that we're gonna take. After we do that, then we're gonna have businesses and residents who've gone through this process sit with us as well and go through what was their experience. And so that we can look at, sometimes when we're doing things for a long time, as you guys know, things just become, rote, and you're not really looking at what's the best way, what's the most efficient way or the most effective way to do it. And so we want to see if there are any things that we can do to streamline the process, to do it better. And maybe Deputy Mayor could speak a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I think it was a really good experience to have everybody in the building department, as well as Gary was there with us. There are a lot of steps in, or there can be, I guess. There's very simple permitting processes and then very complex ones, and you see that here with the projects that are open going on in the village. So we just wanted to be able to create a map also so that the idea is eventually share it with the residents and the businesses so that you know what each step of the process is. But like the mayor said, we mapped out the process as it is. The next step is to take in feedback from those in the front of the process and then sit down with our group internally again and look at what improvements we could make and the process that we would prefer to have. And eventually we're going to put all of that out, I think, and maybe even do a presentation on it so that we can be as transparent as possible. So looking forward to, and if there are businesses out there or residents who have gone through our process and would like to give feedback, please feel free to contact me for that.
Yeah. And this is also important for us to ensure that residents and business owners have a good understanding of what the process is, because I think sometimes the building department is tainted as the bad guy because people sometimes don't want to hear what the process is. So it's always good to be as transparent about it with the residents and with business owners, and also to keep customer service in mind, because we want businesses to come and stay here. It's in our best interest to do that. So that's the process mapping. We're also looking and started working on increasing our exposure and branding opportunities for filming in Tuckahoe. One of the things that we'll be doing, and our village administrator along with our deputy clerk have begun working on just laying out and writing down all of the filming that's happened in Tuckahoe, which is quite extensive, and many people don't know about it. So we want to put it up on our website with pictures of maybe shots that were taken here in the village, and hopefully increase more filming. And I know that there's some filming now, you said, David, happening.
And May 16th, the episode on Pose that features Tuckahoe airs. So.
Oh, it's May 16th? Okay, that's good to know. So that's some other things that we're working on. Some committees that are going to be developed and we've started tonight is the Historic Preservation Task Force with Jenny Steinhagen, as you spoke with already, and with the help of Richard Forliano, our Eastchester Town historian, and Elaine Provenzano, who's also on the History Committee, as well as our librarian. We are also, I met with the Eastchester Chamber of Commerce, Eastchester Tuckahoe Chamber of Commerce, to talk about how do we help our businesses survive post-COVID, and look at what are some of the areas where the businesses are struggling in, and bring a think tank together and bring people who are really interested in this, come together to talk about how do we move forward. So I'm meeting with Valen Nicky. He's on the board for the Chamber of Commerce. We've already met. There are a couple of people who've expressed interest, including former Mayor Eklund Steve Eklund, who would like to serve on that committee. So I think that having this group come together is going to help us move forward and look to the future. We are also in line with talking about our processes and businesses having more information. The same goes for residents. So we haven't started yet, but we have talked about and are looking to have a welcome committee that will put together sort of a welcome package for new businesses that talks, gives them what the processes are, explains from beginning to end, talks about what the planning board, zoning board, and sign and awning boards do. So we want to have a welcome committee that's going to help businesses come in and get oriented and acclimated to the village as well as new residents. And then the master plan committee, which will be a little further down, we're looking to have our master plan updated, which hasn't been updated in, I think, between 10 and 12 years. So that's another committee that we're going to have to work on. And then we want to revive our ethics board. So those are just some of the things that we as a board would like to accomplish in the next few months, at least to begin, in order to serve the residents. That's our goal. Some other things, Police Week, I also want to thank the police department. I love Isaiah Gunther's story, Chief. Thank you for that. It really was indicative of the positive impact that our police department has had on many, many residents here. I have spoken to residents who say, I think when I first met Kara, she says, I love the way the police come down and they're just playing with the kids. They'll just stop and play with the kids on the street. I don't know if they were supposed to do that, don't get them in trouble, but it's just really indicative of the community policing that I keep saying we have here in Tuckahoe. It's really great stuff. Also want to inform everyone that on Cinco de Mayo, we had dinner with the Bronxville board, and according to Mary Marvin, who's been the mayor, I think, for 16 or 17 years now, it's never happened. So, just in the spirit of, again, reaching out and trying to have more collaboration, maybe more sharing of resources. If there's anyone you want to share with, it's Bronxville. They have some things. So we, all kidding aside, we had a great time. The entire board was there. Their entire board was there. And we enjoyed a nice, time together, a nice fellowship, and talked about some possible future collaborations and sharing. You were going to say something? Oh. Also, I've been getting blown up text messages from the kids about the basketball hoops. So here you have it. The board has agreed that the hoops will go up on June 1st. And the reason we want to wait until June 1st is because we want this month to try to push vaccines for some of the younger, people. And now that Deputy Mayor Howell just informed us that the age has gone even further down, that helps us. Our basketball court is very, very popular. So unlike some of the other courts, when ours opens, it's going to be probably pandemonium. So we want to try to be as safe as possible, but we also realize that the kids need some outlets now.
So I just wanted to say, Mayor, that, and if anybody has trouble making vaccination appointments, please reach out to us. We can help you.
Yeah, call Gary. Okay, so let's see. Anything else? Okay, on Wednesday, we will be meeting with the county executive at the Yonkers Avenue. It's not a park, but for lack of a better word, I'm going to call it a park. That's what everyone is calling it so that you know where it is. Along Yonkers Avenue in Tuckahoe, there's that area, preservation area. There have been a lot of complaints over the years about the activity there and the upkeep of the park. We've observed it and witnessed it ourselves. So I contacted the county executive and asked him if he would please come and hear some of the concerns and see what solutions we can come up with. And he so graciously agreed. So he will be here on Wednesday, this Wednesday, May 12th at 4 p.m. Meet us over at Yonkers Avenue. I will be there, our village administrator, some board members, the chief, who else? That's it. I think that's enough. So if you have any concerns about that area, I want to make sure that residents' quality of life is maintained. And sometimes over time, if things are just not monitored you know, it can deteriorate, that's the word. I also want to thank the Tuckahoe Environmental Committee, as well as Erin Provenzano and Mike Dardano for the river cleanup and the Tuckahoe sweep on the 1st. And I think that's it for me. So I'll leave you with that. Second opportunity to address the board now. Is there anyone that would like to address the board on any items? Any comments, any questions? Anybody on Zoom? No? Okay. So I would like, we have some non-union compensation discussions to have the board, so I would like a motion for us to go into executive session to have those discussions. Yes. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry. My heart, the library. How do I forget that? I'm sorry. Swadish, please give the library report.
Thank you, everyone, and I really appreciate the time. And first of all, happy Mother's Day to each and everyone. I just want to give you some of the upcoming events. We are going to celebrate Asian American Month, and we are having a virtual Indian dance performance, and it's ages 7 and up. Anybody can join and learn through this Indian culture through dance and music. And after you watch and learn, be ready to get up and dance. So this is going to be on Tuesday, May 18th
like
at
that.
7 p.m. We have Share Your Career Fashion Design with Jenny Barone, ages 10 and up, Monday, May 24th at 6:30 p.m. Anybody wants to learn about the career in fashion, Master Tailor Jenny Barone will share her career path in fashion design. And we are going to have a story time in the park with Miss Elaine and Miss Jessica, Tuesday, May 25th at 11 a.m. It's going to be at Circuit Avenue Park. And we also want to thank Mayor Omaira and Dino about the Cinco de Mayo story time. Everybody enjoy that program. And we are going to have bicycle safety story time Friday, May 21st at 11 a.m. for children 0 to 6. For teens and tweens, we have a Minecraft program, which is going to be on May 17 and 21st, ages 9 to 17. Also, we have chess. Chess is from kindergarten to 12th on Thursday, May 19 and 4 p.m. We are also offering online classes related to computer literacy. The next one is today we had Google Docs, and on May 24th we are going to offer Microsoft Word 101. Wednesday, May 12th at 7 p.m. we have Wash Belt with Marty Schneid, and he is going to talk about a remarkable time, place, and people. Old Route 17, Red Apple, Rest, Bangalore colonies, and also the famous comedian Red Button, George Byrne, etc. And we have a book club, and this month we are going to read on Wednesday, May 26th at 6:30 p.m. The title of the book is A Well-Tempered Heart by Jan Philip Sendker, and the copies of the books are available. As we know, we have every month we have these recurring programs: memoir writing, virtual meditation. Virtual meditation is always on Wednesday at 12. And we also have online cheer yoga program, which is sponsored by the Community Fund, every Thursday at 5:30 p.m. And Tai Chi class is also on Tuesday, 9 a.m. And one class is going to be tomorrow and also May 25th. And if you need more information, please go to our website or you can give us a call. Our number is 914-961-2121, and we are always ready to help. Have any questions, please let us know. Everyone,
Thank you, Swadish, and sorry about that.
that's okay, no problem.
It's like out of sight, out of mind around here. May I have a motion to go into executive session to discuss non-union compensation?
So move.
Second?
In favor?
In favor.
In favor.